Hello, third grade. Just like the lesson yesterday, you need to complete this on Zern because the printer had jammed and there was no worksheet. I'm going to go through this just like I did yesterday. I'm going to show you how to do each one of the problems and talk about it. Except I turned to the wrong page. I have an answer key here just in case I mess up, which is what I did yesterday. And that's one of the reasons why I had to do take two on that. So Carl draws a square that has side lengths of 7 centimeters. So remember, a square, every one should be about the same length. So just do the best that you can. Well, you won't, I will. So I will do the best I can to make them all look about the same. And it says they are 7 centimeters. So I'm going to put 7 by each one. I would put centimeters if I was on an actual paper. This is kind of hard to use to draw on. And A, estimate and draw Carl's square and label the side lengths. I did that. What? Pardon me. B, what's the area of Carl's square? So remember, the area is when you multiply the width times the length. So 7 times 7 equals, I know some of you know your sevens. Some of you kind of struggle with your sevens, so you could skip count by 7. If you knew what 7 times 5 is, you could add 2 more 7s to that. I know that 7 times 7 is 49, so I don't need to use any of those strategies. And this time I'm going to put centimeters squared, because remember, when we multiply, we do that. You don't have to write it this way. You could write the word square centimeters. C, what is the perimeter of Carl's square? The perimeter is when we add all the sides together. So 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals, so 7 plus 7 is 14, and 14 plus 14 is 28. 28 centimeters. There is another trick to do that. Since you have 4 sides that are the exact same, you could do 4 times 7 to do the area, and 4 times 7, because I know my 7s, is also 28. These are just 2 different strategies. I always just add them when I do perimeter, because plus and perimeter. D, Carl draws 2 of these squares to make one long rectangle. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? I'm going to move this down a little bit so I have some more room. So he needs 2 of those squares. So I'm going to draw 1 square, 2 squares. I'm going to label all the sides. That's 7, and that's 7. This is 7, and this is 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. So the long side is 14. And if that side's 14, then that side is 14. They want to know, what is the perimeter? So we have to add all those numbers together. So 7 plus 14 plus 7 plus 14. So when you add 7 plus 14 plus 7 plus 14, you get 42. So that's the perimeter, 42 centimeters. Number 2. Mr. Briggs puts food for the class party on a rectangular table. The table has a perimeter of 18 feet and a width of 3 feet. So for A, they want you to draw the table and label all the side lengths. We don't know the length, but we know the width. So let's draw a rectangle table. We know the width is 3 feet. So 3 and 3. We also know the perimeter is 18. So I'm going to take 18 minus 6. Because I know that 3 plus 3 is 6. So I got to take away the sides I already have. So 18 minus 6 is 12. Now we don't have one side, we have two sides. So we need to divide that 12 by the amount of sides we have, which is 2. So 12 divided by 2. If you had 12 of something and you put it into 2 piles, how much would be in 1 pile? Or you can think of what times 2 equals 12, and that is 6. So that means that this side is 6. And we got ahead of ourselves because B says, what is the length? That's the length. It is 6. What is the area? Remember, area is multiplication. So we're going to multiply the width, which is 3, by the length, which is 6. And 3 times 6 is 18. Remember, if the 6s are hard, you can skip count by 3s. D. Mr. Briggs puts 3 of these tables together to make one long table. What's the area of the long table? Okay, so got to draw 3 of these rectangles. Notice they're not quite as big as the one that I drew in A because I want to make sure I have plenty of space. So the width was 3. Now we got to figure out what the length is. So the length of 1 is 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6. And that is 18. Ooh, this one would have been a hard one to do. This would have been a nice challenge problem, because we haven't multiplied this way very often. So you would multiply 18 times 3. And I am going to multiply it this way because it's easier for me to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number when they're lined up like this. So 3 times 8 is 24. I put the 4 here, and I put the 2 up here. I regroup. I carry it. I'm done with this 8. I'm going to cross it out. And I multiply 3 times 1, which is 3. And then you add what you carried or regrouped. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So the area of this table is 54 centimeters squared. This is the last lesson that you will do for the math. After this, you have that packet. Not packet, it's a booklet. It's about money. It has like a story at the beginning, and there's several activities, And I would like you to do 1 to 2 activities every day in that packet next week. So this is the end of my video, and I will see you later, third grade. Bye.